Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. Let's get into today's action. Today's date, Monday, September 8th, 2014. Markets are rolling over today. And again, the significance of today's rollover is not that it's big. That's not really any sort of issue. It's not big. NASDAQ down 8 points, Dow down 43, S&P down about 10.5. The key to today's action is look at the volume. So the volume's 35 million, and the fact is, in this volume environment, the markets should have a lot more trouble rolling over. In fact, they should be floating higher. So the fact that they're rolling over should be taken as a significance, because basically what you're looking for, when there's a news break, like something bad out of Russia, Ukraine, that's going to drive volume and that's going to cause selling, right? It's fear. But when you have a scenario where there's no fear out there and it's just kind of the market's floating on no volume, and you start to see more sellers than buyers, that's where you need to take note. So again, markets are seeing some selling today. Not a ton, but the key is the light volume aspect. And that's something I'm going to continue to follow here in the coming hours and days on this market. All right, a couple other things to go over here. Let's kind of scan through and see what else we have in store. Right off the bat, I'm looking at the SPY. First major support. Well, actually, there's a minor support right here. You can see this little pivot area, and that's what we're bouncing off of. If we blow through that to the downside, double bottom right here. Okay, now again, we're still coming off a big reversal. So if you go back to last Thursday, you had this big reversal to the downside and then a bounce. The bounce was a very solid bounce, not confirming to the downside the move. However, in all fairness, the bounce was still inside of this reversal. So it still gets my attention somewhat that we haven't eclipsed this high right here. All right, short term, that's the high I'm paying attention to, because the reversal, again, was big, and the bounce is still inside of that reversal. Hope that makes sense to you guys. All right, so let's continue to just follow this market in the coming days and hours and so forth and see what takes shape. If we were to come down, all right, so this is key. The sell-off was down to here. You had a bounce, which is inside. If we start selling and we close below this low, get below this low, then that becomes a potential top for the markets. And this is something we're following. Now, we have the Alibaba IPO coming out in later September next week. We have a big conference by Apple tomorrow, which should be significant. These are the factors we want to pay attention to. These, generally, when these type of things occur, they can revolve around a top. For instance, in 2007, the market obviously made a major pivot high, right? We had that huge collapse in the markets, the financial collapse, etc. The main IPO that was hyped ad nauseum was the Blackstone IPO. And that came out and basically nailed the top on the market. So it's kind of ironic that you see a big hype in IPO right here coming out, Alibaba. All right, so that's interesting as well. Some great options trading today, folks. I traded options. I had 250 QQQ puts. Strike was the 100 even number, and they were Novembers, and I actually took about $3,000 on them, just a little bit, and that was just off the intraday drop here. When you had that size options and you get this type of fall, you can really make some great money. I also had GoPro put options, which I just took about $2,000 off the table, so big trading day today in the options realm. And I've been trading, when you get these extended moves and you get these collapses, I've been actually utilizing options to my advantage more and more, even though you can trade the stock. The options, when you get these flushes, are actually more lucrative and not super high risk. Yeah, options are always high risk, but I believe that based on the PPT methodology, you can utilize options. And by the way, we're launching an option service in the research. Well, it's going to be not part of the research center. It's going to be its own independent service, but alerts based on options will be coming forth, folks, and we'll be launching that in about 2 to 3 weeks. All right, so watch for that on the website. You can get involved, and that'll be all swing trading options. All right, just alerts, constant alerts of options. All right, a couple other things to go over here. Let's take a look here. Yahoo is trading up today, and if we bring up that chart, you can see up $1.66. Did put in a nice topping tail intraday and seeing some selling off of that. Why is Yahoo up? Because the hype on Alibaba is there, and sure enough, we are seeing that kind of bring forth some upside, because remember, Yahoo owns a large portion of Alibaba, so the more it gets hyped, the more people think it's going to be valued on the opening bell when it comes and debuts, then that's been driving Yahoo up. I actually think Yahoo might have put in a short-term top here based on the big topping tail intraday. Now let's see where it trades over the next day or so. All right, a couple other stocks out there. J.P. Morgan Chase has gone negative today, although not down much. We are seeing Goldman Sachs hover flat to positive on the day. A couple things that are catching my eye. The oil stocks are taking a beating. Take a look at Chevron. Chevron at the lows of the day down $1.71. Why? Because look at the oil chart. If you go to the USO, USO is getting pounded today. And again, this is a big breakdown on the USO off a bearish pattern. And you can see bearish pattern here, collapse, and where's your target going to be? This is your next target, right below 34 on the USO. Gold is also taking a hit today, guys. Big drop on gold, down $1.40 or so. And one thing of interest here is the GDX. GDX is the gold miner chart, piercing the 200 moving average today. So this is actually coming into a little short-term support, and that could be a little opportunity to see some upside in the short term. So we'll keep you guys posted on that as well. Okay? All right. Anything else on the radar here? I think that's about it. We just want to keep track of the SPY, which continues to see some weakness here, guys. And again, we are seeing the SPY continuing to remain right at the lows, making new lows, trying to break through this area. This is going to be the big deal here. This is going to be big. Does it break through this level, or does it bounce back to the upside? I'll be following that like a hawk and watching, because again, this means a lot. I mean, if we sell off and close back at the lows from Friday, this big reversal still stands very big and will actually mean a lot more to me. All right, now if we kind of close up here, it still was an inside bounce, but we want to see if we see follow through tomorrow or if we snap back and bounce right back up. So these kind of things, guys, unbelievably important as a trader, as an investor. You must know what you're talking about, what you're looking at, and how to play it accordingly and profit by it. That's the most important thing, right? Profits. So I encourage you to come join the Research Center. Swing trade alerts given out daily here. Videos, analysis, proprietary signals, you name it. Take the 7-day free trial to the Research Center at inthemoneystocks.com. Take care, guys.